let us discuss the universal law of gravitation. The universal law of gravitation was given by Sir Isaac Newton, and the universal law of gravitation states that every object in the universe attracts every other object with a force which is directly proportional to product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance between their center. The direction of force is along the line joining the center of two objects. Now, what is the meaning of this? Now, every object in the universe, either it is a star or moon or earth, they attract each other. They attract each other with a force which is directly proportional to product of their masses. That means the force, let's say we have two objects A and B having the masses m1 and m2, and the distance between their center is d. And according to universal law of gravitation, that every object attracts every other object with a force which is directly proportional to product of their masses. That means F is directly proportional to product of their masses. That means m1 into m2. That means directly proportional means if the mass of the object is more, if the product of mass of the object is more, then the force of attraction between the two objects will be more. And if the mass is less, then the force of attraction will also be less. So it is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to square of distance between them. Square of distance between them. That means force is inversely proportional to square of distance between them. That means 1 upon d square. That means if you increase the distance between the two objects, the force of attraction will be less. And if the distance between the two objects is less, then the force of attraction will be more. That means force and the distance between the two objects is inversely proportional. And the direction of the force is along the line joining the center of the two objects. Now this is the center of the two objects, and the direction of the force between these two objects will be the line joining the, this is the line joining the center of the two objects. Now if we take the universal law of gravitation, F is directly proportional to product of their masses, that is the equation number 1. And F is inversely proportional to the square of distance between them, that is the equation number 2. If we combine equation number 1 and equation number 2, combine equation 1 and 2, equation 2, then the force will be proportional to m1 into m2, that is m1 m2 upon d square. m1 into m2, that is the product of the mass, and d is the distance between these two objects. So the force is directly proportional to product of their masses and inversely proportional to square of distance between them. And when we remove our proportional sign and we put a constant sign, so F will be equals to E m1 m2 upon d square, where G is constant of proportionality and is called universal gravitational constant, and the value of universal gravitational constant is 6.673 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. Now let us study the importance of Newton's universal law of gravitation. We have studied many natural phenomena in our lower classes that is due to the universal law of gravitation. So the universal law of gravitation given by Newton has explained successfully several phenomena, like the first one, the moon revolves around the earth on account of gravitational pull of the earth on the moon. We have studied in the lower class that the moon revolves around the earth. This is due to the gravitational pull of the earth on the moon. If there is no gravitational pull of earth on the moon, then the moon will not revolve around the earth. Similarly, all the planets revolve around the sun due to the gravitational pull of the sun on the planet. This also we have seen in the lower classes that the planet revolves around the sun. This is due to the gravitational pull of the sun on the planet which makes it revolving around the sun. The next is, you have studied about the high tides and the low tides. That is also due to the gravitational pull of moon and the sun on the sea water. And the fourth one is, the gravitational force bind all the terrestrial objects on the earth. We are binded on the earth due to the gravitational pull of the earth. If there is no gravitational pull on the earth, then we will be flying or away from the earth. But the gravitational pull of the earth bind us or towards the earth. Likewise, the atmosphere, the gravitational force of the earth is also responsible for holding the atmosphere around the earth. If there is no gravitational pull of the earth, there will not be any atmosphere on the earth. So the atmosphere on the earth is held by the gravitational pull of the earth.